Number 1. Poverty and homelessness. I have dealt with this in several of my videos. 200 million Americans, that is 63% of the population, they live paycheck to paycheck. They simply don't know if they can pay their rent for the next month. And an alarming number of Americans, at least 500,000, and probably a lot more, are living in slums on the streets. In cities like Los Angeles, this is a complete disaster. There are hundreds of videos on YouTube dealing with this problem and showing you crystal clear evidence that the streets of Los Angeles are exactly like a third world slum. Reason number 2. Low wages. The effective minimum wage in America is $11.80. That may sound reasonable, but in reality it means that many Americans simply can't live on that kind of payment. The rent for an average apartment in Los Angeles is over $2,300 per month. Even if you could set aside a full minimum wage income just to pay for that rent, that wouldn't be enough. In places like San Francisco and New York City, it is even worse. And that brings us to the number 3, the debt crisis. 80% of Americans are living in debt. They have credit card loans, car loans, student loans, personal loans, etc. The whole financial system of America is not based upon spending money you have. It is based upon spending money you don't have by getting more and more loans. Debt is a disease in America, and it is enabled and encouraged by the US government that has the largest national debt in the whole world. As we speak, America is 28 trillion US dollars in debt. Do you really think it is even possible that these $28 trillion are ever going to be repaid? One day, the whole financial system of America will collapse. It almost happened in 2008 when America gave the world a global financial crisis. 13 years later, many countries still struggle with the consequences of that crisis. It even created a golden opportunity for China to get many countries within its realm of influence. And American politicians are now complaining about that, while it is the result of their own mismanagement. And of course, since America still is 28 trillion US dollars in debt, the problem has only gone worse. So brace yourself for the next financial crisis in America, because that one might break the mighty US dollar. Reason number 4. Then there is another national disease in America. It's called obesity. Over 42% of Americans are obese. Obesity is costing America 150 billion US dollars each year. Additionally, obesity causes millions of Americans to get ill. They get all kinds of heart diseases and diabetes. Even millions of American children are now obese. Why is that needed in the greatest country in the world? Reason number 5. Speaking of health, about 30 million Americans do not have any health insurance. They even avoid going to a doctor because they can't pay for it. Why doesn't the American government take care of this? In many countries all over Europe and Asia, governments arrange for a decent healthcare program for everyone. Why can't that be the case in America? Reason number 6. Low quality of life. Find any list or ranking on the internet of countries with the highest quality of life, and America is not on that list. Usually, You will see countries on those lists like Sweden, Denmark, Canada, the Netherlands, Austria, Switzerland, Norway, Finland, but not America. Large-scale surveys tell you America simply has not enough quality of life. Too much crime, too much inequality, pollution, racism, violence, etc. Yes, that means I've got some more issues to cover. Let's continue. Reason number 7. Violence. So many Americans are proud of their Second Amendment, which gives them the right to bear and carry firearms. They think it will help them to keep their country safer. No, you fools. Once you allow guns, you are going to need them, because people are going to use them against you if they feel like it. It has resulted in a never-ending arms race. There are now 393 million guns in the hands of American civilians. That is 40% of all the civilian guns in the whole world. No wonder America is one of the most violent countries in the world. Homicide and gun violence levels in America are among the highest in the world. What would you expect if you give random people millions of guns? Now, Europe is not perfect, but when it comes to guns, in Europe we have a simple rule. Guns are illegal. There are basically no guns on the streets in most European countries. If you do have a gun, you are very likely a criminal, and the police will come for you. The result is that in most European countries, the streets are safe. There are no people running around with guns. Reason number 8. Traffic jams and bad roads. It is ironic that in a country where there is so much room, a country that was designed to make way for transport by car, there is now so much traffic congestion. Los Angeles and many other American cities are infamous for their traffic jams. And it's even more ironic that in many American cities, roads are hardly maintained. Anyone can see in Google Street View how bad many of the American roads are. Where is the money going to that should be spent on American roads? And I'm not even elaborating on the poor state of the American railroads. There is only one high-speed rail connection in the entire USA. At the same time, many countries all over Europe and Asia connect all of their major cities with comfortable, clean and frequent high-speed rail connections. Why isn't this possible in America? Reason number 9. Fake democracy. America has only 2 political parties to choose from for about 2 centuries now. There are huge barriers for independent candidates to run for office. That is not democracy. Democracy is that anyone who wants to start a political party can be admitted to the political system, and then the people can vote for them if they have good ideas. That is how democracy is arranged in many European and Asian countries. Why is America still not a mature democracy? You had 2 centuries to take care of that. The answer, of course, we all know. America is managed by a corporate elite of rich and powerful families who would like to limit the scope of the political landscape. They don't want you to have the opportunity to freely choose whatever politician you want, because they can't control that. Reason number 10. Limited freedom of speech. It has become more and more clear that in America, freedom of speech is under threat. If you don't proclaim the right opinion, the large media companies will block or cancel you. I do realize that these big American media companies, they are not the government, so it's not official censorship communist style. But it's getting increasingly hard to distinguish today's situation in America from the way communist regimes deal with opinions that they don't like. Reason number 11. Warmongers. For the past 75 years, the USA has been one of the most aggressive countries in the world when it comes to waging wars. There is an endless list of wars and conflicts in which America attacked a sovereign nation, and in some cases the reasons were pretty ridiculous. Waging wars has costed the American people trillions of dollars. No wonder that many Americans are fed up with this, and such a shame that the new American president has dropped bombs on the Middle East only in his 5th week in office. I thought America elected him because he would unite everyone. I have given you 11 reasons why America is not the greatest country in the world. But there are still 11 more reasons on my piece of paper. Yes, there is even more. How about the completely incompetent response of America to the COVID pandemic? How about the fact that America has the largest prison population in the world? How about the racism, the pollution, and the corruption? How about the mass shootings, the domestic terrorism, and the widespread drug abuse? How about the fact that America, for a century now, has been implementing a policy of neo-colonialism by establishing military branches and operations all over the world? How about the fact that America has been depleting natural resources from countries all over the world? How about the fact that America has developed into a divided nation that even appeared to be on the brink of a civil war when people with guns sieged the American Parliament? I mean, normally you would only see that in the kind of countries that America would call a banana republic. How about the poor response of American government officials to tornadoes, floods, and wildfires? How about the fact that the mighty state of Texas almost perished and had no more electricity because of a few days of bad weather? How about the intolerance towards homosexuals? How about American music culture glorifying gun violence and objectifying women? How about the poor American education system that greatly damages the opportunities of American children? How about Americans being addicted to and selling their soul and personal data to the American social media? How about the fact that lobbyists pay American politicians in return for favorable laws and regulations? How can anyone in their right mind think that America is the greatest country in the world? America is living in a bubble, and one day it's going to explode. But hey, who am I? I am the European, and I thank you very much for watching. Please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to support my message. It would really help me to grow my channel and make more videos like these. Thank you, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.